What's going on, everybody? Welcome into the Scene Snobs. And I'm just here to talk about one of our awesome sponsors, Skillshare. If you guys don't know what that is, it's where I learn everything. It really helped me through 2020 with trying to learn how to do this and piece things together. Skillshare is all about teaching and learning different things for the creative types. It helps a lot with small businesses, things like that. And it really helped us build the brand here with the Scene Snobs. So Skillshare are teachers and iconic teachers, I should say, experts and industry rock stars excited to share their experience, wisdom, and trusted tools with you. It offers more than 41,000 courses, or as they say, classes, and 8 million users. It is one of the most popular online learning platforms out there and focused on the classes for creative professionals and entrepreneurs. It's focused on creative workers, designers, chefs, artists, and more. The entrepreneurs who are looking to maybe get into marketing, SEO, and stuff like that. And really helps, like I said, freelancers and small businesses. They're the ones that are going to benefit the most from Skillshare. It's a platform for personal growth. Some of its classes are short and sweet, around 10 minutes. Whereas others run a little longer for hours and can even go up to 50 short videos. All its classes have assignments and encourages learners to share their projects and learning along the way. And it encourages engagement and Skillshare community. Guys, I love it. It is a fantastic, and not only do I love that they're sponsors, but we were using them well before they were. So if you guys are looking for something like that to learn maybe a new skill, go check out Skillshare. We have an affiliate link down below or on thescenesnobs.com. All right, guys, it's time to get started. All right, guys, so it is Geek Fest Live. Welcome Sunday night. I'm going to bring on my guest co-host tonight. Very excited to have him on. He is from the podcast Nerds Doing Nerd Things podcast. I love it. It's a fantastic show. You should definitely check it out. I know it's nominated. It was nominated for Snobbies. I can't remember who won, though, so don't hold that against me. My co-host tonight, Mr. AJ Coppola. What's going on, buddy?
What's up, dude? What's up, everybody? Oh, I'm excited to be here. Once you saw the rundown on the Facebook, I was like,
I'm so glad you answered the call, man. Tonight, Casey, unfortunately, was tied up. He may still try to make it. I don't know, but I told him, I was like, don't rush. Don't get crazy. If you want to take the night off, I am in good hands with AJ backing me up. So thank you so much, man, again for joining. And tell us all a little bit about Nerds Doing Nerd Things podcast.
Well, NDNT is something I started back in 2020 when the pandemic started. A lot of my friends, we couldn't get together. So my brain kind of went, I have an excuse. We have to record. And this was before I even thought about Zoom recording or even knew about it. So we all got together and started talking about movies, stuff we like. And my wonderful co-host, Susie, hopefully she's in bed sleeping because she doesn't feel good, but her stubborn butt might tune in to watch. We just been banging it out. We just started recording for Nerdtober coming up where we start our Halloween stuff, which... Speaking of that, we'll be talking about horror later.
I love it. I can't wait.
Yeah, it's all slashers this year.
Oh, nice. Okay, very cool, man. That's awesome. I would love to get you and Susie on Real Combat and go head-to-head with the debate. That would be awesome.
Oh, dear. You don't want to get into a combat with her.
No. Oh, no. You guys would be.
Oh, God.
It would be amazing.
I'll bring the white flag. Enough already.
I love it, though. And guys, go check out the show. We're going to talk about it a little bit more, and we're going in depth. So we're going to talk. There's a bunch of news coming out. We've been off for the past 2 weeks because I was in the middle of a move, and now we're getting right back into it, amping things up. Casey, I guess, thought I was still in the move. That's why I was like, I'm going to make plans for this weekend. But I don't hold it against them. But I want to say hello to everybody watching. This is an open forum show, so join in the comments. If you got topics you want to talk about, things you want to know, we will get into them. Jason's here. Jason, thank you for joining in. You can check out his show, 3 Geeks Podcast. That's out there. He says good evening to you too as well, AJ. So let's jump right off into it. And there's I don't want to get into the controversial right away. but it seems like everything's sort of controversial. So let's start with the Thunderbolts. The Thunderbolts lineup has been revealed as of D23. And I want AJ, I want to get your opinion on this lineup before we get started.
Well, my opinion is kind of crazy because I have the same photo here, and it's an outstanding photo. But I'm so happy they're bringing back Red Guardian. He was like my favorite part of Black Widow. But just the lineup is stacked. You know, Florence Pugh's coming back, Sebastian Stan, Russell. I can't wait for it, but I'm kind of curious to see where they go with it.
Yeah.
Because there's so many avenues to go, especially with Madam Hydra. Not Madam Hydra yet, but there's so many ways they can go with it. And I just hope that Florence Pugh and U.S. Marine is kind of like the forefront, but it looks like Sebastian Stan is going to be kind of as well.
I think it would be hard to not have Sebastian, because Sebastian Stan's probably, I'd say, the most, besides Florence Pugh, of course, she is right dead in center. We know she's the biggest star on this lineup. And although, you know, a lot, you know, everybody else is sort of well known, it's probably got to be Sebastian Stan as like the next biggest star.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I can't see them taking anything away from him. If they're gonna, I'm anxious to see how they do it. I mean, how do you introduce Baron Zemo? Have him be a big part of the Civil War and the Falcon and Winter Soldier, and then turn around and not have him be the one to put the Thunderbolts together.
Yeah.
You know, it's
like I've seen the trailer for it, and he immediately looks like a bad butt or a badass, or I don't know if you're allowed swearing on this or whatever.
Oh yeah, go for it, man. Let it roll.
All right, I don't have to hold back.
It's the lineup is fine. A lot of the controversy comes in that you have three very similar in powers characters, and Bucky was a U.S. agent, and Red Guardian. They all have the same super soldier serum. And I would argue even more that Taskmaster and Yelena are very similar because they were both trained, by the Black Widow program. And I didn't like Taskmaster as it was in the movies.
No, I didn't either.
And again, it's not a gender thing. I didn't care about that. It was that they took this. Who Taskmaster is as a character is such a rich, awesome, fun character. Why take it away? Like, just keep the character.
I feel like they kind of neutered it in the movie because the way Taskmaster is, they learn everybody's fighting style, and the more fighting styles he learns, the more he or she, depending on what we're talking about now, they lose part of themselves in the background.
Yep.
But the real wild card is Ghost.
Yeah, it's the only character that really stands out to me too. Actually, like, truly a villain, not one that's been. Yeah, and I mean, of course, sympathetic villain. We get it. We understand why she was doing what she was doing, but ultimately, really the villain. Although, as based off of 2020, I guess anybody from Russia could be considered a villain again.
Really?
But I won't hold that against them because I do like Red Guardian. I thought he did a great job.
Oh, he was funny.
I think the lineup is just underwhelming for me. I don't mind if you had this lineup, but why couldn't you add new characters? Give us something new, something fresh. And I understand William Hurt died, but couldn't we get a Red Hulk? Like, it's already been established. It might be fun to establish a Red Hulk and bring him into the fold.
I mean, we've recasted before.
Or Abomination.
Ooh, we did just see Abomination. I think it was what Wong kicked his butt.
Well, no, he just showed up on She-Hulk. He's there now.
Oh, that too. Holy crud!
Yeah. And they fixed him because he looks more like Abomination from the comics.
See, with such a big cast, I'm worried about overshadow here.
Yeah.
You have 7 people, and if if you have 7 people, it's kind of hard to showcase, this character and then this character without people getting lost. That's my issue when it comes to this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how are they going to do it? Are they just going to have Bucky and U.S. Agent episodes, or Red Guardian and Florence Pugh episodes?
It will definitely be interesting, to say the least, and see how they all kind of play off each other. Obviously, they're going for they don't like each other at first, but then have to become a team sort of situation. I have no doubt that they're going to try. This is their Suicide Squad. I just hope they do it correctly and do it in the right way. It just doesn't work for me. And that's because, again, none of them are really villains.
No.
And you're not that you're supposed to hate them, like even the Suicide Squad, but they're the villains. So when you go into it, you're like, I don't care if they die. The only one I don't want to die is Harley Quinn.
Exactly. I was just about to say that. I was just please don't kill Margot Robbie, please.
And even then, so they get into it, and then even in the second one, James Gunn improved upon it and created even better characters and Peacemaker and more. So for this, it's you have characters that we like. I'm not taking away from that, because all of these characters, I mean, maybe Ghost and Taskmaster because they're just dull. I don't really care about, and even U.S. Agent was a little dull too. But it's one of those things where it's like, I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see. But I don't know. Kevin Feige announced this and was like, "Hey, everybody's gonna be excited for this one."
I was more excited about the Avengers musical on stage.
They should put that out for sure.
Well, they did. They had it at D23.
Oh, did they? I didn't know that.
They had the musical part from it wasn't Loki. No, it was Hawkeye. Yeah. And they actually did that number on stage at D23, and I popped hard for it when I watched it.
That's awesome. I missed that one, but that's really cool. Yeah, I'm just saying, I don't know. When it comes to Thunderbolts, I love to see what they take. It's Sir Superhero, who's on TikTok. Guy knows his comics. He came up with a really good idea. And he's got millions of followers, so hopefully, Feige decides to listen and write it up this way. His idea was have Baron Zemo put together a Thunderbolts. Have them go out and be superheroes, gain a notoriety and a popularity, and then have this team put together to go and stop the Thunderbolts, because they know the Thunderbolts are actually still supervillains. And as they get into it, they can kind of like, there will, just like in the comics, some of the villains that became heroes decided to stay heroes. And then you can have this team and a new Thunderbolts team, like with new members, by the end of it. But it would make sense if you call it Thunderbolts and it's a separate team that's gaining the notoriety.
Mm-hmm.
And this team was put together to try and stop them from doing evil deeds. I think it'd be a little more interesting in that way.
That'd be a good way to put it. Kevin Feige is batting like 700 right now, so I'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, and even all of the stuff that people really go against and don't like when it comes to the MCU. Which one?
Dark World.
Come on, can't we let it rest? Let it rest, man. Dark World was a great movie. No, I'm just kidding. I can't.
Sorry, I'm just going to dig another.
No, I agree. I mean, there's not a lot that is wrong with the MCU, but even the stuff that people really go after, I mean, you still get enjoyable product. It's just it's not as enjoyable. It's not as good. But nothing from Marvel do I hate.
Oh, absolutely not.
Yeah, so I mean, I think they pulled together really well, and I mean, they're going to do fine going forward. A lot of people are giving Phase 4 a lot of issues, and it's setup time. It's the same as Phase 1, and people don't seem to really understand that. Like, everything's a setup right now. We don't have a team. We don't have an Avengers. We don't have anything going on right now. So,
yeah, we've had Endgame. Now it's time to rewind and get going again.
And I like what they're doing with it. They're making it a little more lighthearted, a little more friendly. Characters are a lot more fun, in my opinion. And I'm not taking anything away, but we had to deal with a lot of post-traumatic stress going on in the first 3 phases. And as it went on, you're like, this is getting dark. And then it got real dark. And now we're out of it. It's a little more light. I kind of am enjoying that. I need that after that wonderful, beautiful saga that they did. But I need like the light a little bit.
Yeah, look at Tony. Tony throughout the first couple phases until his unfortunate, death. Spoiler. But you saw Robert Downey Jr. played it perfectly with PTSD on how jumpy he is, the nightmares, and then the decisions he makes afterwards, to stop invasions and stop, fights before they even happen, which kind of turns into Ultron there.
Yeah, and you're right. They handle it perfectly. I still say Thor was one of my favorites because you saw him all throughout with all of his loss change and become something different. And now they made it light. They made the 4th one just like more enjoyable, like it's more of an adventure.
I actually really enjoyed Love and Thunder.
Yeah, I hate the fact that Taika said he's not going to come back because of all the backlash. It bugs me. That
comment sections are some of the worst things in the world.
I know. It just sucks. It sucks when people just hate on things. I'm not saying that you have to like things, and I'm not telling everybody, but even though I'm a reviewer myself, like I kind of hate movie reviewers.
Yeah.
My whole thing was always like, look for something you like. And even like I think my most hated movie in the past like 3 years was Home Sweet Home Alone. I could not take that movie. It drove me up a wall. The 4th or whatever movie, the Home Alone franchise.
Oh, okay.
And on Disney Plus last year. And it was abysmal. But I still looked for something that I enjoyed about it.
Speaking of Disney Plus, kind of the same reaction. Noelle.
That was a tough one.
That was very tough for me, but I still watched it. It wasn't horrible. It's just I've seen this movie a million times, and this is the first time I've seen this movie. It's just like same kind of setup as a lot of romantic comedies, but this one's got a holiday turn.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, man. And it's it just was very similar. It was something, it just there's something about it. And speaking of Disney and what they're doing with their live action movies, and before we get into it, I just watched Pinocchio. I did a review on it, so I'm not going to get into the full review of it, but I didn't mind it. I liked it. I was like, all right, compared to the original, I liked what they did. There's some things a little different that I wasn't too big of a fan on, but ultimately, I really like what they're doing with the turning all of their classic cartoons into a live action movie. Now, not everything. I'm not guilty of loving everything they're putting out, but there are some things. And there's also some things I'm looking forward to. I really liked Robin Hood. I would love to see them do that, as a live action sort of version, even with the Fox. But I want to, before we get into one of our topics tonight, what do you think about the live action and what they're doing?
Well, I like it when they change stuff to a certain point, which doesn't affect the overall story, but it's enough to where it's its own movie. It can stand on its own legs. And we just reviewed Pinocchio on NDNT. Go check that out wherever you would like. But I liked it. I liked how it was still the Disney Pinocchio we remember, with different aspects changed to kind of, I think, fill some holes and also add stuff to its story. Because if anybody has seen the animated version, I think it's only like 70 minutes, maybe 75 minutes. This one, I think, was an hour 45-ish, right around there, maybe a little bit less. And I love Tom Hanks as Geppetto. It really hurt when you realized why he was making Pinocchio.
I know, right? They added that element.
That was crazy. But then I go over to the aspect of Lion King, my favorite Disney movie growing up. And literally, outside of the new song by Beyonce, it's cut and paste. That bugged me.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that because in my review, I kind of got into it a little bit with the live action. Talk about it here. I do. I love Lion King. I thought it was great, and I thought the live action, Lion King that they did. Uh, I didn't mind the actors. I didn't mind what they were doing with it, but yeah, ultimately, I felt like it was missing the magic of the original.
Yeah.
And so I agree with you on that. Like, and there's a few of them. There's a few of the live action. Like, I didn't love the Beauty and the Beast. A lot of people really got into it. I was like,
It was all right. I thought Emma Watson, Luke Evans were great, but it's because Hermione Granger and Luke Evans.
Yeah, Luke Evans is pretty awesome. And he was good in Pinocchio as well. He did a good job.
Oh my God, the coachman. Yes.
Yep.
I didn't realize it was him until he really belted out a number.
Yeah, you forget how good of a singer he is. Yeah, he's pretty good.
Yeah, Cinderella was good.
Yeah, I mean, and they're doing it like with Dumbo. Dumbo was like, I understand you have to make it a longer movie because it is a very short movie, but I just didn't like where they went with the story with it. I just, they focused more on the other side characters than they did Dumbo, and I was like, but it was a good tale, Maybe don't use the mouse. Maybe use a human that's sticking up for Dumbo, and then you have that connection. But they're not always going to be winners. But I did like Pinocchio a lot. But there is a new one coming out, and it's caught a lot of backlash. And that, of course, is everybody.
To me, that don't make sense.
What was it?
For reasons that, for me, that don't make sense.
Why my God,
are ripping into it.
So it was announced at D23, and we got a first look of The Little Mermaid, starring Halle Bailey, who is an African American woman who will be playing Ariel in the movie. And collectively, let's just call them what they are. Racists lost their shit over this.
Yeah.
And it's nuts. Like, it's so, and
it's disgusting.
Yeah. I mean, I don't like, I mean, I don't have any argument, like, because it's just stupidity, in my opinion. It's hard to argue with people who just aren't going to listen to you anyway. So you're just kind of like, I'm just going to go see the movie. I just want to check it out. And if she can belt out the bars like the original movie, then we're fine. Because that's the biggest thing about that, The Little Mermaid, in my opinion, was the music was fantastic. But it is nuts how the internet collectively just went crazy. Like and again, the racist side of the internet. And a lot of the argument, Jesus, a lot of the arguments about why the mermaids can't be black is utterly ridiculous. And I know you got a heavy opinion on this, and I'm anxious to hear it. But I just want to say, like, your arguments, and I don't care. It's a cartoon. It's a movie about mermaids singing. But it's if you really wanted to argue about the color of mermaids, they wouldn't be white either. If it was real as you're saying it, they wouldn't be anything but scaly, powder looking things under the ocean because there's no sun. But it's Disney, and I'm okay with it being whatever color because mermaids don't fucking exist.
Thank you.
Now, AJ, I'm going to hold off and shut my mouth and let you go.
Okay. Ding, ding. Okay, people. This really ticked me off because D23, I watched it live. I read the comments on YouTube while it was going, and I feel like Disney was on the ball because every time a comment popped up, 2 seconds later, goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. This really ticked me off because mermaids, number one, not real. Number two, why does it freaking matter? If she can do the job, if she adds to the experience, why does it matter? Jodie Benson was phenomenal as Ariel back in 1989. Let Halle Bailey do her what she can do. I've heard her sing. She sings beautifully. Who cares if she doesn't look like the animated version? Did Mulan actually look like Mulan from 1998? No, there were some aspects different. Did people bitch about that? Absolutely. Why? Because they need something to bitch about. And this time, they really decided to pull the race card because it should not freaking matter. They do not exist.
You know what? I 100% agree with you. I can't argue with that. We might have a special guest popping in any moment because he's from another podcast, but like he heard this and he's like, I have something to say. I'm like, all right, I might let this happen.
I just don't get it. Just
I don't.
shut up. If you don't want to watch the movie, don't watch the movie.
Which
It's
is
that simple.
where things should be. With
Nobody
a lot
cares about your racist opinions.
It is ridiculous. Like, but you know, here's the funny thing. Like, I get the other side of it. Like, when the Thunderbolts came out, we were talking about that. A lot of backlash came out because people were like, it's not diverse enough. You know, they weren't going too crazy, but they're like, there's no real diversity here. Why do we care? And that was the thing. It was like why, you know, people of color saying, why do we care? You're not adding anybody of color in this. Yeah. And, you know, I get that side of it because it's true. Like, you know, I don't mind adding diversity because it just opens up the doors, you know, to have it more.
My whole thing is if you're going to add diversity for adding diversity's sake, you're doing it wrong. They need to add to the role. If they add to the role, perfect. You hire the best actor available.
Yeah.
Don't just be like, oh, we need to meet a quota. Okay, we met the quota. You hire the best actor available. And going back to The Little Mermaid, maybe Halle Berry was the best actor available, best actress available for the role. And I'm excited to see what she does. I'm very excited for it.
Yeah, me too,
I'm guessing she's not going to be the reason why the movie's bad. I'm just going to say the reason why the movie's going to be bad is because it's Disney doing a live action.
Yeah, the problem with it is it's such a beloved film. So I get if people are coming out and saying like, I don't want a live action of it.
It's because it started the Renaissance.
Yeah. But that's not the argument that's coming out. That's the argument is about her color, and that is not right. And it's kind of stupid at this point. It's just like, who cares? Like, do you really care? You have a version. So just watch that if you're that racist.
You always have that animated version to go back to. If this one's horrible, like I mean, if it's god dog shit, you always have 1989 to go back to.
Yeah. Chris says it the best. I love people that say the real mermaid is real. Real.
The real mermaid is white.
Well, we do have a special guest joining in all the way from Horror with Sir Sturdy podcast. Sir Sturdy himself. What's up, Sturds?
How's it going, gentlemen? How you guys doing?
What's up?
I'm doing good, man. You said you had something you wanted to speak to on this, and I wanted to bring you on.
So with this particular topic, it's sad how people are like that, especially over something that's make believe. Like people are saying, "Oh, well, since they're doing this, why don't we do a Martin Luther King movie with a white guy?" I'm like, that's not the fucking same. It is not the same. Completely different. Or they were like, let's do Black Panther with a white guy. I'm like, it's still not the same.
No, it's
still not the same. It's just, and like the cool thing though that I did see like on TikTok videos on YouTube is seeing young black girls like, she looks like me. Yeah. That's like for me, like I look at stuff like this now though, man, because for one, Disney 2009 was the first time they put a black princess in a movie. There was no outrage about that though. There was no outrage about where's the representation for everybody else. But
Tiana's awesome.
As soon as you give people representation, whether it be men, women, there's always that one crowd that's always, oh, what about me? What about me? It's like, no, fuck that. You had the attention for years. Put it on somebody else. Let everybody else feel good about that. Let everybody. And what makes it worse is in these situations, the ones that they're making the movies for, which is the children, they don't care. They just want to watch a Disney movie. They just want to have fun. It's the adults. Like there's adults that won't let their children watch this movie because there's a black.
Yeah, but I mean, let's just say what. But that's a funny thing, and when I say funny thing, I use that, jokingly. It's not. It's racists. That's all it is. Like you're just a racist. Like that's all you are, and it's the logic, the lack of logic, I should say, and a lot of people and what they say online and things like that. I do believe that ultimately the majority online that are freaking out are generally just trolls.
Probably.
And they want to cause trouble, but there are people who are truly believe this.
Yeah,
and
I know.
freak out, and they're the ones that are saying like the really nasty stuff.
Yeah, I know.
And it's sad, it really is. But at the same time, it's like, am I gonna? I will, because I review movies, but like, am I gonna race out with excitement to see The Little Mermaid? No, but I didn't race out. That's not even. I like the live actions, but it's not like I jumped to them. Pinocchio is my favorite, and it's not. It took me a week to watch it. You know,
I have yet to watch, like, a lot of live action Disney ones. I have yet to watch. The Lion King, the animated one, is one of my favorite Disney movies. It's my favorite Disney movie. That and White Fang are my favorite Disney movies. I will not watch the live action one because I know it's gonna piss me off. I'm just like,
Yep.
And like, the funny thing is, yes, I know I can go back to the original and all that other stuff. It's not gonna ruin the original for you people because it's the Black Mermaid. Just like the live action Lion King's not gonna ruin it for me because I still have the original to go back to and watch and enjoy and love.
Yeah, I don't understand. I mean, but that's the point.
You know,
like, I mean,
we also live in the world of, okay, so what's the biggest thing going on social media? Oh, let's talk about this mermaid thing. No matter what side, I'm not saying everybody, but no matter what side you're on, it's like, okay, let me be on the side to where, you know, my tweet will be seen. There's a million tweets of this. Let me be on the hate side, and it's just like, it's why does it matter that much? Why does it matter that much to where people are outraged over something? Again, that's make believe at the end of the day. If it was a real movie, like a real thing, I'd understand more. I'd honestly understand. I was having this conversation with one of my friends, if white people were mad at the Hamilton thing that was done, I would understand it, but that would be more so to be upset about and mad at than this.
Well, like, why? And
the whole just because of like the whole black cast of that. If people were upset, not necessarily, like, you know what I mean. That would be. I'm not saying you should be outraged about it. I'm saying I would understand that more than a cartoon, because because that's from actual history. This is just from a cartoon. And then on top of that, like with the Little Mermaid, people like, they're not going by the what the fuck did they say? Like the origin of, like, there's a book of I've never read the book, but I heard it was real dark. So even the original Disney movie didn't even touch what the book was about. So if you're going to be upset about that, you should be upset about the first movie. If you're going to be upset about that, I mean, again, mermaids aren't real, people. They're not. As much as we want to believe that, they're not. They're not real.
They're not swimming in the ocean waiting for sailors to come by.
Oh, and for those of you who don't believe this, black people can swim. I'm one of them. I was originally going to be in that movie. I wasn't going to be the mermaid. I was going to make one of her cousins, but I don't like.
You couldn't even make yourself the lead.
Nah, you know how mad they would have been a black straight male as Ariel for the mermaid. They would have been mad as shit. That I would have did just to piss you guys off.
I could see
it. Watch it just for shits and giggles.
Yeah,
I'm all good with you being Prince Eric. It's all good.
There you go,
Prince Eric.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I don't know. The controversy, of course, seems stupid, but there's always some sort of stupid controversy that surrounds movies.
Oh yeah.
You really want to go into another Disney movie with a lot of controversy? It was Turning Red.
Oh my God! And I didn't understand that. I liked it
because they were talking about a girl coming of age and going through puberty.
Yeah, I just, again, I get, you know what it is? I try to detach myself.
Yeah, I shut my brain off and watch the movie for what it is.
Exactly. Like when I watch a movie, I watch it for the movie. And if I get caught up in all of that, like, it's just like, I don't like anything salacious. I'm not huge on talking about it anyway because it's annoying. We can get into it if we're all podcasters, we know. But that was something that when that came out, I was just kind of like, really? Like, are we really stooping this low? Like, we have a Pixar movie, or, you know, for every emotion, for everything that happens, we have toys running around talking. But we can't let a little girl have puberty.
Yeah, I thought it was stupid. And then come to Little Mermaid, and it just, fuel to fire. And like, people, what the hell? If you're gonna watch the movie, go watch it, enjoy yourself, and then hate it afterwards. Whatever. If you don't want to see it, don't see it. It's that simple.
like if it sucks, it sucks. If it's great, it's great. But let the kids enjoy it. Like put your
Yeah.
racism aside, let the kids enjoy it because they're gonna enjoy it either way. Oh, this is a mermaid. And again, like I was saying, like it's cool to see. It was even cool to see. It was sad, but like when going back to like when Chad Boseman died and
Oh.
all different races of children, like when they had their toys set up as Black Panther, they're doing all this.
Mhm.
Like kids, they don't care about what color the character is, what color the person is. They just enjoy it, like we should be doing as adults.
Yeah.
Not talking about us in general, but just how we should be doing as it's like I'm watching a movie. Simple as that, and boom, shouldn't matter the rate, the character's gender, all that other shit. Especially if it's a make believe story, just enjoy it for what it is. Yes, it does get annoying because I'm sure we're all diehard fans of something to where they change something with certain characters. It does get annoying, but you don't have to make it like a whole. Again, it's a fucking mermaid.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you guys this. So as we're going on, what are some maybe race swapped characters? And it doesn't have to be comic book, but that you guys did like, that you saw, whichever way it went.
I won't even say a race swap, but
or gender swap. We can do that as well.
No, but I'll just put it right out here. The blackface, Robert Downey Jr. I thought that was fucking Tropic Thunder. That was hilarious.
Oh my god, I love that.
That was so hilarious and tastefully done. Stuff like that doesn't bother me.
People tried to cancel him on that.
I would have been mad.
Wait, what was? Sorry, I missed it. A comment popped up and I started reading it real quick.
Oh, Tropic Thunder, Robert Downey Jr.
Oh yeah, well they tried to go after him, but the whole point of that was that it happened for such a long time and it was asinine and stupid.
But I loved it. Like I had so much fun with that. Like stuff like that doesn't bother me as long, depending on if it's done right. If it's funny. And I would say when you do things like that, like when you're making jokes about a certain person, race, gender, whatever, you should have people from that community there in the writer's room that are just like, yeah, that's funny. You know what I mean? Or that's not offensive. This is fine. This is cool. Or if they're trying to tell a story where it had to be offensive, still, are you guys comfortable with this? We don't want to attack you, but we want to make this some realism to it. And honestly, I think that's a huge issue with the creatives up top that actually make, that the money, the people that have the money to make this stuff come out is because they're not pulling from, the people who they should be pulling from. It's just like, okay, well, we know you're a big name. We know you're a big name. Let's just do this and make it happen and blah, blah, blah. We'll deal with the backlash. And it's
like the Blazing Saddles treatment when Richard Pryor and Mel
another
Brooks
hilarious.
When they wrote, Richard Pryor wrote all of the black jokes. Mel Brooks wrote all the Jewish jokes, and they had a bunch of writers coming in to write the offensive jokes.
That is the best way to do it. It doesn't matter what actor or actress says it once it's on, script, but you know what I mean? Like say I write you guys probably wouldn't want to read what I would write, but I'm just saying, like, you know what I mean? But what I'm getting at though is like, if it's like, hey, I'm writing this and say, it's me, my brother, blah, 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 blah. And then you guys are doing the same thing for your type of background and your cultures and all that. But the opposite person, someone else from the other side is reading it or acting it out. That's fine. That's funny. And I feel like that's the way it needs to be inclusive. And it needs to be to where, it may hurt these people. So why don't we get these people here to see what's okay to say and still kind of making it funny, making jokes of it, but not making it to where someone feels less of a person or whatever, just because, and at the same time, people, you have a right to just not watch this stuff. Like, I hate when people watch something just to be outraged by it. Like, oh, everybody hated such and such, so now I'm going to watch it to hate it and complain about it and try to get this person canceled because I didn't like, no, just don't. If you know you're not going to like it, don't watch it.
Yeah.
It's that simple. If you know you're not going to, and you're not a content creator or a podcaster like myself, and you have asshole friends that make you watch Nicolas Cage movies on your podcast and review them.
You shut your mouth. That's the most offensive thing you could say.
That's different. I don't go searching for Nick Cage movies.
Let's have a watch party for Vampire's Kiss. Let's do it. Radar Series says, I hated the teaser because I knew she could sing, so I just wanted to see how everything else looked. I get that too. Because it's exciting because the look, I want to see the look of Ursula. I want to see the look of, everything that they have going on. I want to see if they're going to use Flounder or Little Lobster running around for Sebastian.
Disney knew what they were doing with this, though. They knew that this was going to spark some. This is because what this is gonna do is all the people talking about it, not every single person, but a lot of them that weren't gonna go see it are gonna go see it just because of this, and that's fair. That's fair. So what they did is it's fucked up in a way, but it's smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Publicity's publicity.
Yeah. Best way to
Whether
put
it's
it.
good or bad. And I really don't have anything to add to that outside of do not play the Blazing Saddles drinking game. That will almost end you in the hospital. But back to what you're saying about switching races or switching genders. Now, I don't know how many people got butthurt about it, but it threw me off guard. And listening to a couple of my friends talk about it. If you ever played Batman Arkham Origins, how they switched Copperhead into a female character when Copperhead is normally a male. Everybody was like, how you would expect, or at least my friends talking about it, was I was expecting the male dude in the Copperhead suit with the normal suit having the fangs. They gave her the fangs in the hands and on her inner teeth, which I thought was a great transition to add to the character, which is what you have to do. If you're going to change anything, it has to add to the existing character, and I thought it was fantastic. But a lot of people were mad because it wasn't the same character they got in either the comic books or any of the Justice League animated series.
It's, I don't know. People get stupid about everything, and like I even said, what we did months ago, before Fantastic Four was even officially announced. We did a dream casting on the show, and I said we should change them, make them all black, change it up, do something different, add some diversity to it, but also you have great characters. I would love to see Lakeith Stanfield play Mr. Fantastic.
I would like to see John Boyega play Human Torch.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
That's a good one. And I feel like because the window has been open with Michael B. Jordan playing Johnny Storm, why not continue it and keep it going? But they're doing it with the X-Men too, coming into the MCU, and whatever. I mean, Giancarlo Esposito can play anything, and if he's playing Professor X, I'm in. So I'm definitely down for that. But hey, Sturdy, you want to stick around? We're gonna talk horror.
Yeah, I can stick around for a little bit.
Well, fine.
I like that style.
I mean, you literally have a show called Horror. So,
well, I mean, it's called Horror with Sir Sturdy, but yes.
Well, we're going to talk about the upcoming horror movies that are coming out. The only thing I think we should end on with the last is like, fuck you, racists.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Let's go that route with it.
Let's say fuck the racists, and let's all be better people, at least if not for ourselves, for the youth. Like, let's leave a better world for the youth. Because
I say use up all the resources and don't give the youth anything. Let's just let them fend for themselves. Just like we did in the 80s.
Wasn't even alive.
Well, in the 90s, kind of.
Okay, there you go. Once you hit 93 is when I start adding to my totals.
There you go. Oh, man.
Sorry for making you feel old.
That's all right. I feel old all the time. And my knees do that. Radar says, I don't care who they cast, just give me a good F4 script for fuck's sake. We'll see what happens. I never know. We're getting into horror now, and so two movies, let's go with two right now that just came out. I have not had a chance to go see. I want to see them desperately, but I think you watched at least one of them, Sturdy, and I don't know if you watched them, AJ. So add on if you have Barbarian and Pearl.
Yep. So
Barbarian, I've heard good things about.
Same. I've heard a lot of good things about Barbarian.
And Pearl is a prequel to X, which came out, Ty West movie, which came out earlier this year. It looks stylistic and fun. And now, Sturdy, I know you went to go see that.
Yes, sir. I did yesterday.
Can you give us a little mini review? I know you're going to do your own, but
basically, honestly, the way I'll say this: if you've seen and you enjoyed X, it will explain the old lady's, like, her behavior so much watching this movie Pearl. And I actually want to watch both of these movies back to back, like watch Pearl and then X, because they're just, I know it's going to be like a good, it's one of those ones where you watch the kind of like how I did with Orphan earlier this year. Those two movies, but these two connect the way they connect, and it's just, she's crazy. I loved it. I had a great time with it. I really did.
Nice. Yeah, I'm
really freaking did. Like, I don't want to get too in because I don't want to ruin any of the movie for you guys. I don't want to spoil anything for you guys. I do that on my show, but I'm not doing that for a little bit. And it's. I will say this: don't go into it expecting it to be just like X. It has its wildness, it has its craziness, but in so many different ways.
Yeah, I've heard it. I heard it's a bit of a different movie compared to X. I wasn't a huge fan of X.
I
didn't hate it, but I didn't love
it.
But I heard different things about Pearl. I'm kind of into it. Radar does ask, do you need to see X to see Pearl?
No, you don't need to see X to see Pearl at all. Actually, no, you don't. And honestly, I feel like they would have done well. You know what? X probably would have drawn in more people. But I was gonna say the way if Pearl would have came out first and then X, I think it would have been fine. I think it would honestly been fine. But I do also like how with this movie, I can't think of another time where they had a prequel and the regular movie come and the whatever movie come out the same year, and we're gonna get Maxine next, and that's gonna be I think 80. That's in based in the 80s, I believe 85 to be exact. I know it's based in the 80s, and that takes place after X.
Okay, all right, I'm down for that.
And I'm if I'm not mistaken, it's gonna be. Did you guys both see X?
No, nope.
Did you see X?
Spoilers. I saw X. Yeah.
I'm not going to say who. I was going to say, you know what? Never mind. I won't say anything.
I'm just barely touching horror movies because I've stayed away from them like the plague. I hate being scared, but now I'm starting to open myself up to them.
See,
we got to get him on the show, dude. You got to get him on your show, man.
I do, and
we're going to give you a list.
Literally, the only time I do horror movies is when we hit Nerdtober, and we just started that, and I go back to watching Hereditary. And it wasn't scary. I didn't sleep that night, though. I went by each and every light pole looking for somebody's head.
Oh, man.
Chris is doing it all in love. Chris is doing it all in love. He called you chicken shit, but we love Chris, and Chris is a horror guy.
100%. That's the whole reason why.
I love it.
You know what it is? You know me. I love horror. Sturdy and I talk about it quite a bit, and I'm doing I do my 95. I'm doing 95 days of horror movies until Halloween.
You're psycho.
Today was 44. So it's number 44. So I got 43 left to go. It's a lot of them are ones that I've seen before and I'm revisiting, but I'm going to keep up with a lot of this list that's going on to check out new ones that are coming out. I wish I could have seen Barbarian and Pearl, but I'm definitely going to see them soon. Good Night Mommy is a remake that's out on Prime. It was an Austrian film that came out in 2014, I think.
Yes. Did you see the one from 2014?
Yes.
I loved it.
Oh, AJ, we got to get you on the train here.
That was a wild. As a matter of, I have that on my wheel. I'm going to be reviewing both of those. Now that the remake came, I'm just going to put them on as one episode.
So funny story. My co-host has a notebook just like this one of movies that I need to see.
Good.
And there's literally a sticky note like 3/4 of the way through that says horror for AJ. My only thing is I will never watch it in theater because at home or at her house I can, I'll be right back. Because I am scared to choose.
What are some of the big, maybe like well-known or epic horror movies that you haven't seen?
Me? Well, the movies that we're doing this year, I've never watched. Kind of right down memory lane for a lot of people. I never saw Child's Play, any of them.
Okay.
I never saw any of the Halloween movies, any of the Friday the 13th movies and Nightmare on Elm Street movies. Never. None of them. And that is just for Nerdtober. And last year we did Stephen King. Never saw any Stephen King movies.
Wow.
Okay.
We did all those. 1408 was crazy. Good, little insane. But so far the favorite one I've done is Get Out. I thought Get Out was awesome. And then the alternate ending was pretty dope too.
I Get Out. They're both like both endings of that. I prefer the one they left in.
Yeah, so do I. Yeah.
Even like Jordan Peele's just so smart. And Chris, I'm going to tell you right now. Here's why we're never going to fire this guy, and I want him on when he watches these movies. Is because I appreciate people who aren't horror fans and are giving it a try.
Oh,
I'm really trying to get into it, and
it's just I'm not watching it by myself.
But I want to talk to you after you watch a lot of these movies. I want to talk to you about your experience watching them.
Yes.
Because I was a kid. A lot of the movies you mentioned, I was a kid, but I'm a different beast. And I know a lot of people, aren't like that. And some are. Like I know Sturdy and I talked about it.
Yep.
A lot of people don't start as young as most of us did.
Nope.
And so like whenever something comes out now, I'm kind of like desensitized to it. It's like I saw The Exorcist when I'm 7. Like who cares? But I love hearing people talk about their first experiences, especially when they're adults.
And that's the thing. I started right at like 25, where I started watching something a little bit scary. Like I bring up The Ring and The Grudge. When they came out, I was like, oh, those look terrifying. All right, let's go see the Disney movie. Bye.
And that's what you love, and there's nothing wrong with it.
It's a different battle because I'm going through all these kind of movies that we're talking about that I just mentioned. We did Hereditary. We did The Grudge. The Grudge was kind of weird. The Grudge was open the sheets and here comes the it made me rip my sheets off the bed, look, and then put them back on the bed. But it's fun. I watch them with my friends and we just pop at each other, freaking the fuck out.
I know what I need. I gotta bounce in like a couple minutes, but I know what I need to do with you, Mick. We need to do this with him too, as well. Is the watch party thing I was telling you about in Stream Lounge?
Mm-hmm.
We could even pick a movie off of Tubi. I don't know what platforms you guys have, but pick a movie off of Tubi if we have to, and just pick, a good horror movie, and just have the watch party thing and have him watch a movie with us, and to where like it'll be something similar to this, but the movie's like in the center. We'll be off.
I do it with Discord all the time.
Oh, nice, nice.
You should share your screen.
Jump in, anytime.
There's something I use called Stream Lounge. So like we would be like off the side more, and it won't be dubbing and all that other stuff. It's fun.
I'm always up for it. Like I'm always game. I never got into it because I never really had anybody to watch these movies with, because I get scared. Like me going through haunted trails at lake compounds or whatever, or the Trolley Museum, which was pretty good. It's like a mile of haunted shit. And I hate clowns with chainsaws. And literally there's a whole section of a haunted house there that is full of clowns and chainsaws. But I go into my defense mechanism of just laughing.
Mm-hmm.
I just no.
I am meeting with the hotel this year, because I was supposed to do an overnight stay in a haunted hotel last year for the Scene Snobs and do a live stream, and it got messed up. Anybody who was watching knows that. Like it really got screwed up and pissed me off. But I have a new hotel, and I'm meeting with, because we're going to do a little bit more, get involved, and Casey should be there. And if we can pull it off, we're going to do a live stream from a haunted hotel. It's going to be fun.
That's awesome.
So, Sturdy, since you're a haunted dude, and Mick, you too. I live in Connecticut.
Oh, God.
Does that pop any of you guys when it comes to haunted shit?
I mean, I know the movie The Haunting in Connecticut. So
there's so much shit in Connecticut. I used to live in Derby, and if you guys ever watched some of those haunted paranormal shows, the opera house that was in my old town was showcased I don't know how many times, and I did a tour of that. I was like, oh shit, it's cold in here. Somebody goes, that means ghosts.
You see? Now the funny thing is, right, is I would probably, as a matter of fact, I know I'd have that same reaction as you, but I would still want to do it. So we went to
oh God, I just got chills.
Last year we went to the Overwatch in Stanley, whatever they call it, out in Colorado, me and my brother. And did the little tour.
Oh, the Overlook?
There's the Overlook, thank you. There's a part there's a part of the tour where you like go downstairs, you're in this room, they close the door, and they're talking, and they give you dum-dums, the lollipops, and they put them in your hand, like with the stick sticking up, the lollipop part in your hand. and I don't remember the girl's name and I don't remember the song, but they're like, this is her favorite song, and sometimes like she'll come and she'll take the lollipop or knock it out your hand or something, right? So and me and my brother just happened to be standing by the door in the light, so the lady was like, "Hey, can you turn the light off?" I was like, "Yeah," and like I just got this weird feeling. I was like, after the tour was over, so I was talking to my brother, like, "Yo, if anything popped off, like if a ghost, I was like, I swear to God, I was gonna open this door and take off." He was like, "I was gonna be running right with you." I was like, "Yo, I don't ran right to your car. We would have just left and went to the where we were staying at for the night." Like, yeah, how was the tour, guys? Like, oh,
I was with people I grew up with, so I was comfortable with them. And even my buddy to this day that I talk to, he goes, "AJ, I've never seen you run so fast. And I saw you do 100-yard sprints in football. I've never seen you move so fast."
See, AJ would have been the one leaving with the black people. You see when you see us taking off? Let's go. Mick would have been like, "What's going on?"
If you see them running, you better be right behind them.
Yes, just run.
See, that's the thing. I was never a strong runner. So I was like, all right, I guess I'm fighting.
I'm taking off. Like, I don't know what's going on.
I see a ghost, I'm just going to have to deal.
I'm excited. Like, I can't wait. We've already started recording some of these episodes, and I liked the first Child's Play. Like, I liked it a lot. Made me question my nephew's toys going upstairs. But then we did Freaky, the new Freaky with Vince Vaughn.
Oh, nice.
That was phenomenal. Wasn't as scary, more of like a slasher, kind of our theme for this year.
Yeah.
I thought it was phenomenal. It was comedic. It was great. And I would say give it a check out if you guys haven't yet.
Yeah, no, I liked it a lot. I thought it was really good. Yeah, let me run down a list. I'm going to run down a list of upcoming horror movies. We'll just talk about it real quick. Let me know if you guys are interested or what you'll watch or what you won't watch. So we have Don't Worry, Darling will be coming out in September, which has a lot of controversy, but it seems like pretty crazy thriller horror. The Munsters. Who wants to watch that? Come on. Rob Zombie horror comedy.
I'm going to watch it, but when I watch the trailer, I was like, this isn't. It doesn't look great to me, but I'll watch. Like, I'll watch anything horror.
I'm gonna get brought to watch it. I'm just facing it now. Somebody's gonna be like, "AJ, we need something for the show."
It's definitely one of those that I don't know. I can go on and on about
horror comedies are really how you get me, literally.
Oh, nice. You want to watch a good slasher? Then watch Tucker and Dale vs. Evil.
That's funny too.
Great horror comedy. Yeah. Goes down one of the greats. We have My Best Friend's Exorcism is coming out September 30th. And Hocus Pocus 2 is also coming out September 30th.
Oh, I don't know if that's really horror.
I
would say it's cute horror.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, I like that family horror, like you can watch with the kids. You need that. That's how you get the kids in. Like I watched.
Depending on the kids, because they got me in with like just Friday. It wasn't the kiddie horror stuff at all when I started watching it with my. Because for me, I was following my older brother around, my cousin, so they're not going to be renting, Scooby Doo on Halloween or whatever was out there. They're going to be renting what they really want to see, and I'm going to be there watching it, scared, but
Oh, for sure. Well, we have 3 other movies coming out. The first week of October, Smile, which is
I seen
that on TikTok.
I seen the trailer for that actually yesterday watching Pearl. Yes.
Oh, nice.
That looks interesting. Kind of weird off the trailer, but interesting enough to where I might. I might go. I'll just say it. I might go.
I like those weird supernatural type movies where like
same here.
Nobody knows what you're going through, but you see it. It's pretty odd. Deadstream is coming out on Shudder October 6th. Disgraced and demonetized internet personality tries to win back his followers and sponsors with a live stream event that sees him spending the night in a haunted house. What could go wrong? Everything.
I'm watching it. Yeah, if I remember, I'll watch all those damn movies, honestly.
We got Terrifier 2 is coming out. Art the Clown is back. Hellraiser, which is coming out on Hulu October 7th.
Hulu's doing great.
Yeah.
With that Hellraiser, I hope they do better than what they've been doing for the others.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't mind. A lot of people. That's another one that was gender swapped. Pinhead is gender swapped to a woman, and I don't know. A lot of people are just bitching and moaning, as they do. We have Spirit Halloween, the movie, coming out October 11th.
That looks Spirit Halloween. That one looks like a fun kind of, like a corny fun one.
Yeah,
it'll probably be a one-time watch, but I do want to see it. I feel like they should have put me in the movie instead of those kids. They should have. I think it would have been better and more entertaining, honestly, if it was adults.
Yeah.
Because we love going to that place. Like, why couldn't that be like a movie where you're going? I go there with my wife all the time. It's like a date thing. Everybody's bringing their wives, and then you get locked in the store. A bunch of crazy shit happens.
And you bring the one friend that hates all this horror shit.
Boom,
I like the idea of it. It's one of my favorite Buffy episodes, where all the people turn into their costumes, basically. We also have Halloween Ends, the end of the trilogy, the final.
I'm excited for that one. That one is really popping because they brought Jamie Lee Curtis back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I don't want to say I'm super excited for it. I'm more so excited for if everything goes there. I'll be doing a watch party for Halloween. It'll be Halloween 78 and then the trilogy, just because they're all supposed to be one long story. So that'll be the fun part of that. I'm hoping they do better than what they did with Kills. Kills, I feel like it wasn't bad, but I felt like they did so good with 2018, and then Kills, they kind of just dropped the ball, especially with that Evil Dies Tonight and all that extra stupid stuff. That was like the worst part of the movie for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a question that you guys might be able to. I looked more into this Deadstream. Is this going to be like one of those found footage things, kind of like what is it called, Unfriended and stuff like that?
Yeah, I think they're kind of going for that.
Okay.
Well, I hope it's better than Unfriended.
Yeah, that's for sure. There's tons of horror movies coming out, and I think October is going to be filled with a lot of really fun stuff.
Series too. I mean, Chucky season 2 is coming out October 5th.
I gotta watch the first one. I didn't even know. I had no clue about it. After seeing Child's Play, I'm like, oh, this looks interesting. Wait, season 2? What the hell?
It's good. It's good. I enjoyed season 1, so I can't wait for season 2.
Chucky did a good job.
It sounds like they brought back the guy who played Chucky in the first 3 Child's Plays too.
Yep.
Yeah, they did.
Well, so what is it? Don Coscarelli who created him? Who created Chucky? No, Don. What is it? Don Mancini.
Mancini, yeah.
Mancini. Don Coscarelli did Phantasm. Don Mancini is still like he's a part of the show. And I remember when they announced Chucky as a TV show, and I was just like, really? I was like, yeah. I was like, I like what they did with the later 2 movies, but I was like, what are they going to do with the TV series? And they knocked it out of the park. They did a great job.
I honestly feel like they did better with this TV series than they did with the past few movies.
I liked Cult of Chucky and Curse of Chucky.
I did too, but I still feel like the show was better than those.
No, 100%. But to me, it was a return to form because 3 Bride and Seed were all really out there comedic. But this one, like Cult and Curse, or it should be Curse was first and then Cult, really like turned it back into horror. And so I appreciated that.
I agree with you there. Like the Chucky franchise, it's a fun franchise. I'll say that. There's some movies that are, but I guess you can say it with any franchise. Some movies that are better than the other. But I feel like, honestly, the series I feel was probably the best thing they've done since the original.
Yeah.
Since the original movie, and 2 wasn't bad, 3 wasn't bad. Those are the first 3 movies are the best out of the whole series. But I feel like it's the best thing they did since the original movie. And that's saying a lot because, again, 2 was not bad at all. And they did a lot of stuff. And I watched it all. I mean, we all did. Like, why not?
We need AJ to take the deep dive on that one.
Yeah, I'm getting there.
I'm anxious to see what you think of like Halloween and Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday and stuff like that.
Like, I know the aspects of it, like who they are, obviously, because they're so pop culture icons. Mm-hmm. I just have yet to see any of the movies, and I'm excited, but yet, I'll have my co-host next to me laughing her ass off as me, flipping the popcorn or jumping out of my seat. We were watching the Stephen King stuff last year at her house, and there's a animal cage behind me, and at 9:30 the light shuts off and nobody told me. I jumped out of my chair thinking something was freaking behind me.
You have to be one of the most fun people to watch horror. Like, I love watching horror people that scare easy, because it makes the experience so much more entertaining, so much fun, so much more funnier.
Like, literally, me freaking out and watching everybody else, either freak out or laugh at me. It's all fun and games, but it's all.
I agree with Sturdy on that one. It's people who get scared during horror movies are fun to watch it with, and people who laugh their asses off at horror movies, like the gruesome deaths, like you get a belly laugh, is always fun.
Yeah, I fall kind of in that realm of things, of just laughing at certain things in horror movies, and it's just like, well, this isn't even funny. Like, I shouldn't be laughing at this. It's terrible. This person's got their, like, I laughed. Speaking of Hereditary, when the girl the head knockoff thing, I thought that was funny. It was so ridiculous, but it was just like, it was funny, and it was like a sad.
Like, you're not laughing at the movie. You're not laughing like this is stupid. You're laughing. It's just your response of like having watched horror for so long that you get to a point where like you have to laugh at this gruesome death, because it's just like, where are you going to go with it?
My brain, with the realization that plan was in motion at the end of that movie for all that to happen. And I'm like, you've got to be freaking kidding me. They planned that girl's head coming off just so she could be transported into another body. What?
It's amazing.
And literally the ending just like, I was like, please nobody ever do that again.
Oh, man.
Well, guys, I appreciate you guys coming on tonight. And, we're kind of winding down, and I wanted to give you guys your plugs. I know you have to get going, Sturdy, so I'll start with you. Guys, check out Horror with Sir Sturdy, which is live every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. over on his channel. You can check it out there, the Z Network, or check it out on Horror with Sir Sturdy pages and a YouTube channel. You can also check out his other show, Popcorn and Pints, where they talk about more than just horror, and it's always a lot of fun with their movie reviews. Thank you, Sturdy, for jumping in and giving us your opinions tonight.
Oh, of course, man. I had to, just because, again, I was like, all right, let me help them with the blackness of this conversation.
Well, you're always welcome. I love you, buddy, and I appreciate you coming on.
Same with you.
So everybody go do it.
Appreciate it. I'm about to do the same for yours too, man.
Absolutely. And of course, AJ is the host of the Nerds Doing Nerds Things podcast. Please, and he's got two cool. He got much better. I love these. These are awesome. It's a little cut off because of the white background, but go check out the Nerds Doing Nerd Things podcast. It is a great show. It is a lot of fun. You guys talk about some really cool stuff. And you and your co-hosts are fantastic. I follow Susie too. I think she's on my Facebook as well. But yeah, go check them out. AJ, thank you so much for jumping in, co-hosting with me tonight. It was a lot of fun to have you on, and I can't wait to have you on and talk more about horror movies. I want to see what your reactions are to some of these.
Yeah, we 100% got to keep in touch about it. Like 100%. Like we've been recording the Halloween episodes early to try to give some people time off in October.
Nice.
But we've only done the 2 so far. I was sick Friday, so we were gonna do the Friday the 13th. I think my buddy said to do the 4th one, because that's when you actually get Jason as Jason.
Yeah, I would say that's where you pick up to it. My favorite, I like 2. 2 was good, and my favorite is 6. That's when you get Frankenstein.
Space, like what my buddy that is also into Jason, he goes, "Oh, you got to wait till they get to space." I'm like, "Why does he go to space?
Oh yeah,
what's up there?"
And I'll tell you this: it's not a terrible movie.
Oh shit!
It's pretty crazy. Once when you watch them all and you kind of learn like, oh, this is going to a crazy place. Like this is just this. This the only way you can take Jason Voorhees is the craziest places possible. You guys been to New York.
That game that came out a couple years ago, the Friday the 13th game, that was good.
That was fun.
Oh yeah, yes, I love it.
Fun game.
Not discontinued, but cease and desisted, and they weren't allowed to make updates to it like they wanted to. They only had to keep the game at that level, which kind of sucked. But I thought it was good. It was definitely a heart pumping game.
Mhm.
Yeah, and they gave you a lot before they got that cease and desist. But I do agree. I hope the rights get figured out real fast. But thank you, gentlemen, for coming on. Thank you guys, everybody, for jumping on. This is where I'm going to kick you off and do the outro, and then. But I do appreciate you guys, and guys, go check out their show. It's a lot of fun. Their shows, they're a lot of fun, and I will make sure to link them down below so you can find them there.
And can you link me and him too? Because I want to definitely want to have him on my
I can
show.
do that for sure.
Appreciate it.
And we should get AJ on. We should get him on Sir Sturdy to talk about the, because I know you're going to review him on your show, but like talk about your experiences watching them. I would love to discuss that.
Oh, I have some funny things to talk about when I've been watching these movies. Like, if you want a belly laugh, I'll go through some experiences about me watching some of these movies.
Yes, I love it. All right, guys. So until next, I'll do the outro, but guys, thank you again so much for jumping on. I appreciate you. You guys are amazing, and I will talk to you guys soon.
Have a good one. Peace, people.
Take care, guys. Guys, I want to say thank you so much for watching and being part of this. We truly appreciate it. This is Geek Fest Live. This is live every Sunday night at 9 p.m. as we try. But yeah, let's say our thank yous. I want to thank our patrons: Tim, Paul, Stacy, Matt, Aaron, Chris S, Chris H, Dan, John B, Ron, Jason, AJ, Radar, and John W. Guys, we have 3 tiers available. So if you are interested in joining up and supporting us on Patreon, go over to patreon.com/thescenesnobs. You can also join up on our Snobs Nation Discord, where we have great conversations. The moderators are always keeping it really lively there. We have watch parties. We just did a Joe Bob watch party recently. Had a really good time with it. The old Monster Vision episodes with the movies. So go check it out. All the links are below. And make sure to like this video and hit subscribe. Yeah, join up because we have great shows like the Scene Snobs Podcast live every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Shows Geek Fest Live. Real Combat Season 2, which is coming back in October. Make sure to check that out. Scene Snobs Reviews, where we review different new movies coming up. Most currently, we have Pinocchio and Confess Fletch. Plot Roast, where we make fun of old movies that our patrons give us to watch. And we have a few more shows coming out, which we'll be announcing next week. Scene Snobs merch is open. Go check it out. snobsmerch.com. The link is below or on the scenesnobs.com. And you can check out any one of our old sayings or like Embrace Absurdity or Let Me Explain It to You, our Scene Snobs logo. And we're going to have new fun stuff coming out as well. So make sure to check that out. Follow us everywhere. We are at the Scene Snobs on everything except for TikTok because they won't let me change it. So it's at the Scene Snob there. And yeah, guys, thank you so much for joining us. I am Mick Manhattan, the Scene Snob, usually joined by Casey, but I had a great co-host in AJ tonight. And thank you, Sturdy, for joining in as well. All right, everybody. We'll talk to you guys soon. Stay tuned and stay geeky.